Our memories aren't reliable. Our interpretations aren't objective. They are reconstructions, constantly updated, adjusted and defended by the conatus. Realism, as we do, is learning to see this process while it's happening. When I look back at my childhood memory of my sister's accident, I don't see a lie in the moral sense. I see a protective structure my mind built because the truth would have overwhelmed a child's nervous system. And once that structure was in place, it shaped my perception. It shaped how I behaved, it shaped what I believed about myself, and I kept on doing so until I had the capacity as an adult to revisit the truth. That's what many of us are doing in our day-to-day lives without realising it. We're walking around stories inside our heads that were constructed for survival, not for accuracy. Stories are built from incomplete data. Stories created during moments when we're overwhelmed. Stories we defend as if they're absolute truth. Why? Because we believe they're absolute truth. We don't think we've invented them. We don't think we've made them up. We think that somebody said something horrible to us and that they meant it, and that they wanted to hurt us, when really they might not have even said that at all. It might be that our perception of them meant that they had to say something like that. So psychologically, we made that up. It's quite scary, but that's how it goes. Anyway, the purpose of what I'm saying now is not to expose these stories as lies, but to understand how they're formed and to see through them without shame or self-recrimination. Because the moment you understand that the brain's priority is survival, not truth, everything makes more sense. PTSD flashbacks, childhood memories that suddenly shift, people who sincerely believe things are factually wrong, confabulation after trauma, false certainty, defensiveness, even ordinary interpersonal conflict. Relationships are full of this. You said this, no I didn't, I said that, no, what did you say? Lying to each other, lying to oneself. We genuinely believe that this is true. We're not in control of it. It's not under our power to control. It all comes down to the same principle. The brain fills in the gaps. The body believes the reconstruction. And the person thinks they're telling the truth, because to them they are. We are unconscious when we do this. We don't know that we're doing it. But we are surviving. And that's what's really important. And that's what I want to explore here. Not lying as a moral failure, but lying as a biological function. And realism in the practice of seeing things clearly, seeing the process clearly, understanding what we're doing and why we're doing it. Not to condemn it, but to work with it. So this is what lies, damn lies and imagination are. It's a conversation about how the mind protects us, deceives us, and ultimately leads us back to clarity, if we're willing to look directly at what we don't want to see. So, I'm going to close soon, but I want to leave you with something simple and something practical. Most people approach the mind as if it's supposed to deliver the truth. They expect the truth. They expect everybody to tell the truth around them. But they're lying even to themselves. They're not telling the truth. And so the whole thing is built on this fabrication of imagination. So no two people's truths are the same, because every truth is subjective. I believe this to be the case, but it might not be the case. Trees are not green. Not really. But we believe trees to be green. And your green is different from somebody else's green. But when you look at the research on memory, trauma, perception, and the brain's survival mechanisms, it becomes obvious that accuracy is a luxury. It's a secondary function to survival. The mind's main job has always been to keep you moving through the world with enough coherence to survive. So, if you discover that parts of your life story aren't accurate, or that certain memories don't match the facts, or memories according to other people, or that the narrative you've had for years was shaped by fear or shock or confusion, that's not a failure in you. That's a physiological reality. That is what is going on for you. The important thing is what you do once you see it, once you see the reality. Realism isn't forcing yourself into some harsh, objective truth. It's about being willing to examine the stories you live inside, especially the ones that formed in moments when you were overwhelmed. I've got a question that I want you to take with you, and it's this. Where in my life am I still relying on a story that was built for survival rather than accuracy? I think you'll find rather a lot of them. And don't look for dramatic examples. Look for the small ones, the beliefs you defend very quickly, the sudden no or the sudden yes that you say that you're not really conscious of, but you do it anyway. What about the memories you never question, the conclusions you draw automatically, the judgments you make about other people, the explanations that feel comfortable even when they don't fit? That's where the unconscious lies usually live, not in malice but in protection. Lies are not built for malice, they are built for survival. We are survival machines, that's what we are. And the moment you see them for what they are, basically adaptive constructions, something subtle shifts. You stop fighting the mind for being human. And you start working with it. You start noticing when imagination is filling the gaps. You start feeling when your body is defending a narrative. And you become just a little more grounded in the present moment, rather than be trapped in a version of the past that was assembled under duress. This is the heart of the practice. A quiet, steady commitment to seeing things as they are, rather than as they were once made to seem. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will consider subscribing or consider becoming involved in the practice. If you do, you need to join Martin Butler's Patreon as a practitioner. Thank you for listening and being part of this conversation. Next time, I'll explore the ways our minds shape the sense of truth and how we can navigate that with more clarity, with more honesty, and without blaming ourselves for the adaptations that keep us alive. Thank you. Bye. See you then.